How can a soda company have a military submarine? This is the story of Pepsi in 1989.
Hey, in 1989, a soda company almost had a larger navy than most countries on Earth. Not because they wanted to go to war. Not because the founder had some weird military fantasy.
But because the Soviet Union had no money.
And the only thing they did have was a bunch of old warships. This is not a joke. This actually happened. Back up to 1959. The Cold War is running hot. America and the Soviets are staring each other down across the Iron Curtain while pretending everything's fine. Then Nixon, still vice president at the time, flies to Moscow for a trade exhibition. The idea was simple. Show Soviet citizens what life looked like on the good side of capitalism. Refrigerators, cars, washing machines, full Americana.
At this exhibition, there's one small booth selling soda. Pepsi.
Nixon pulls Khrushchev over to the booth and hands him a cup. Khrushchev drinks it. Photographers catch the moment. The next day, that photo goes everywhere. The highest leader of the Soviet Union holding a Pepsi with a face that isn't entirely unhappy. Pepsi just got the best free advertisement in the history of capitalism. But there was a problem. The Soviets wanted to start selling Pepsi inside their country. Pepsi wanted access to a market of 200 million people. Perfect deal on paper. Except for one thing. 15 rubles were useless outside the Soviet Union. No official exchange rate. No legal way to convert rubles into dollars. So Pepsi couldn't actually get paid in real money. Then, somebody had an idea.
Here you go, comrade. Wow. Absolutely fantastic. Just what we needed.
What if we pay you in vodka? And Pepsi said, sure.
Starting in 1972, 18 Stolichnaya, the Soviet state vodka, got exported to America.
Pepsi sold it there, took the profits in dollars, and used those dollars to fund Pepsi operations inside the USSR.
An industrial-scale barter system, the only one of its kind in the world. Pepsi officially became the first American company to operate inside the Soviet Union. For nearly 2 decades, the system worked. Pepsi flowed east, vodka flowed west. Everyone was happy. Until 1989, the Soviets had a new problem. Their economy was collapsing. Slowly, painfully, unstoppably. Gorbachev already knew the Berlin Wall was coming down. And worse for the Pepsi situation? Stolichnaya wasn't moving like it used to in American stores. Too much competition. The value had dropped. Pepsi needed a new form of payment. The Soviets had nothing. Except a navy. Negotiations happened. A new deal got signed. The Soviets would pay Pepsi using their decommissioned warships, submarines, frigates, cruisers, destroyers. 17 submarines, 1 frigate, 1 destroyer, and 1 cruiser. Pepsi suddenly became the legal owner of a warship fleet. This technically made them a larger naval force than most countries on the planet.
Look, we don't have much time. What exactly do you think you're doing?
Pepsi CEO Donald Kendall called the U.S. National Security Advisor and said completely straight-faced,
We're disarming the Soviets faster than you guys are.
obviously, Pepsi wasn't going to war. The ships got immediately sold to a Norwegian company to be scrapped and recycled into scrap metal.
All 20 vessels gone within a short window.
But for one brief, absurd moment in history, a company that sells sweet carbonated sugar water had a bigger navy than Canada. There's one more thing that makes this whole story more depressing than it looks. Coca-Cola never entered the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Pepsi had total monopoly, no competition. 200 million people who for 2 decades only knew one cola. This should have been the single greatest competitive advantage in the history of soft drinks. But the moment the Soviet Union collapsed and the market opened up, Coca-Cola walked in. With cash, with infrastructure, with massive ad campaigns. And within a short time, they overtook Pepsi across the entire former Soviet territory. Pepsi got the vodka deal. Pepsi got the warships. Pepsi had a 2-decade monopoly on the largest communist market in the world. And still lost to the guy who showed up late with more money. The moral of the story? Sometimes there isn't one. Sometimes you can do everything right, pull off the most insane business deal in history, accidentally own a navy for a weekend, and still get beaten by someone who just had deeper pockets. Welcome to capitalism.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please subscribe. If you didn't, that's cool too. Any ideas for future video? Let me know in the comments.